I'll swing back to Amara a little bit just for her to advise us on a little bit about nutrition. How can we get a little bit more healthy as humans?
Eating balanced diet is very important, and being particular about what you eat. Most times when we're all hungry, including myself, whatever you see you buy, you eat because you're hungry.
Yeah.
You don't really bother about the nutritional content. But it's very important for us to focus on what we eat, especially proteins and vitamins, which is, I'm not saying that carbohydrate is not important. It's important because it's energy giving diet.
But I think, well, rightfully, but it is as important as any other class of food, right?
Yeah.
But I think the timing and what you're eating is what really matters.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
Dr. Badjie said a point where at 8 p.m. in the night, if you're eating, just to wait a little bit, like an hour after
Are
an
you
hour
running?
to go
Yeah.
to bed. Why are you eating carbohydrates when you're not going to run a marathon?
Yes,
So you don't need the energy. You only
Yes.
need to eat at the moment of the time, right? So yeah,
Yes.
that point is known now, I guess.
So you find out that people eat more of carbohydrates in the morning, as you said, afternoon and night. I think most of us are guilty of this, including health professionals. So, and some people find it, think or believe that balanced diet is expensive. If you ask me, it's not.
Yeah.
Because there are things you can get from the market that is very affordable,
Yeah.
like beans. I always emphasize on
beans. Don't you love beans?
Funny enough, when I was younger, I didn't like beans. But I came to realize as an adult that beans is very important. It's really very, very important, especially for children, for growing children.
And people with diabetes, because anytime you eat protein, it doesn't spike your blood sugar.
So that's
Yeah.
also an eating hack,
Right.
right?
It's a life hack.
It's a life
And even fruit juices. Eat a natural fruit and drink water. Your body will make the juice for you in the stomach. Because then you have the fiber, you have the slow release carbohydrate. So it won't spike your blood
Blood
sugar.
sugar faster, yeah.
But honestly, what we do with fruit juices, baobab doesn't need sugar. It's naturally sweet. It has so many antioxidants. It's rich in potassium. It helps with dehydration. Just mix baobab with water and you're good to go. You don't need sugar.
Exactly.
Right.
Your body doesn't need all the sugar. Coca-Cola, Fanta, Sprite, they should be illegal
See,
from a healthcare standpoint. No, they actually should be.
yeah.
Before you know the damage of one can of Coke, one can of Sprite, one can of Fanta, wear like a continuous glucose monitor, or just, even if you have it, check your blood sugar right before you drink a can of Coke. Drink the can of Coke. In less than 20 minutes, check your blood sugar.
Yeah.
And I think it has to be worse because Coke has saturated sugar. I
No,
guess.
it's the worst kind of sugar. If somebody is about to go unconscious because their blood sugar is
going
low,
low.
Yeah.
you give them half a can of Coke.
They'll be good.
And it puts so much glucose in their system.
system.
But think about the wealthier we are, breakfast,
Coke, juice,
lunch,
baobab with sugar.
dinner, right?
Yeah.
So even Ramadan, which that's why a lot of people, that's dangerous, because between iftar and in the morning, you're consuming so much sugar,
Sugar.
and so much calories that you're sicker.
Then your system cannot even get rid of before the next time you start
Yeah.
eating sugar. Like
And then you're not sleeping long enough, right? So there's a lot of components. And I think one thing, since you mentioned young people, I have to mention that they may not be worried about diabetes, hypertension, but even if you're sexually active and you're young, you should be getting STD testing
Exactly.
as frequent as possible.
Yeah.
Anytime you change a sexual partner, you should be getting an STD test. Minimum once a year, you should be checking for HIV, for hepatitis, right? But most people in the Gambia, you could see people who've been sexually active for years, and you ask them, when was the last time you got tested? They don't know.
They don't know.
And the men are worse. And the thing is, most of the STDs, a woman manifests the symptoms faster. So men could carry STDs and be asymptomatic for so long, and they're just community spreaders at that point.
they just give them
They're just spreading. But that, I think for young Gambians, mental health, you have to focus on that. Sexual health, you have to focus on that. The rest is just preventative,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But as you transition, if you transition, you get married, you transition from a monogamous, a polygamous, or whatever situationship that people define it, where you have one sexual partner, then maybe the frequency of STD testing is not important. Right?
Right.
But even most women, it puts them at a disadvantage because you could have chronic conditions where just because you didn't get tested, you could be carrying hepatitis for so long, and you take that into your marriage. Because also most young people get married and they don't do STD testing.
Yeah.
They don't talk about family history.
They don't talk about genetics.
So those are just some of the things where, especially with us, we're a young company, we have a lot of young people. That's why we focus on, sexual health. We focus on mental health, but still encourage. But you can't talk about healthcare, especially in the Gambia, because of our sutura culture, our denial culture, our male patriarchy culture, the stigma culture.
Yeah.
Young people need to start getting tested for STDs.
So, well, young people, that was the line. Young people need to start getting tested for STDs.
Yeah.
But I think from the whole conversation, I think everybody should understand from now that it does not matter what age you are or how healthy you think you are or you look, right? The first thing that you should be always doing is trying to find out what could go wrong with you and how to make sure you remedy them. You know, your nutrition should be on point. You have to go get your STI test. You know, it does not matter. Even if you have one partner, you're not sure if your partner is not sleeping with somebody else, because we've got to that point in life now, right? So it's always important to get all of those tests done. And like Dr. Badjie said, he gave us an example where in this day of age, he would choose HIV over diabetes. Because he knows it's easier to control HIV than it would be easier to control diabetes. It's so sad that half of our population, or I would think a majority of our people here right now already are struggling with diabetes and don't even know the right way to deal with it.